Welcome to part 2 of our series on Premiere Productions. In this segment, we're going to be going in and covering a lot of the basics of setting up a production, how to create one for the first time, get your workspace to incorporate the production panel, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about the basics of figuring out where you want to store your production for effective collaboration. So to get started, I'm going to jump into Premiere Pro, and the very first thing we need to do is create the production. By going to the File menu, I can click on New and choose Production here. And by doing this, this is going to give me a screen with a place to name the production and where we want to put the production. Now, this is a really key thing to be aware of. The location for the production, this needs to be a place where all your editors can access this. If you're all within a facility and you're using some sort of a shared storage volume, then you're pretty well set up to go. You can put the production folder on the shared storage volume, and that way all the editors in their different bays can actually go in and access the production. If you're not working in a shared environment, if you have to deal with remote collaborators, you need to start thinking about some way of placing this production folder in a way that everybody can access it. And different people are collaborating in different ways remotely. We have some of our customers, our editors like to use remote desktop clients where they're actually remoting into a machine in the office, even when they're working from home, in which case you just continue to use the shared storage in the office. If you need a solution that would allow you to work collaboratively from virtually anywhere with an internet connection, you might want to look at one of our partners, a company called LucidLink. I'm going to be using LucidLink today just to demonstrate this, but the idea behind LucidLink is they have a system where cloud-based storage actually mounts and looks like local network attached storage to the operating system and thus to Adobe Premiere. So I actually have a drive on my system simply called Adobe that gives me like 1 petabyte worth of storage space. And that's actually where I'm going to place my production folder today. And so that way, all of my team members that all have access to LucidLink would also be able to use a production. But just know, productions don't require any internet connection within a facility. It was actually designed around this idea of working at secure facilities where they don't allow for internet connectivity. But when you need it, there are partner solutions out there, or remote desktop clients will allow you to have that remote access if needed. So I'm going to go ahead and select the LucidLink volume here. I'll go ahead and click on that and just go into my laptop so you can see here's the LucidLink icon. You can see I'm selecting Adobe as the location for this. I have a folder called Carl Media, and that's where I'm going to choose to put this. And then I'm going to give this a name. So we're going to call this Movie Production. We'll keep it simple. All right. Once I hit create, what that is actually doing is creating a folder that lives on that volume, and it also creates a new project file for me. So now at this point, I'm actually ready to get started. Now you'll notice that this is created, it's using a workspace here that's called Production. You're welcome to use this workspace. It kind of moves everything slightly over to the right and leaves some space on the left-hand side of the screen for this production panel. But this production panel is going to be key to seeing what's going on inside of the production. And in later videos, we'll dive into like what the icons mean, some of the different right-click menu options. But for right now, just know that this is where you're going to start setting up and you're going to start organizing your production. Couple of things to be aware of. If you ever need to know where your production is stored, this flyout menu up at the top has an option at the bottom called Reveal Production. On a Mac, it'll show Reveal Production in Finder. And by doing this, this will bring up an operating system box, and I can see here is the folder in question. Now, if I close this production, I'll choose File, Close Production, and we'll go back to the basic screen. Just note, to get into that production, I can do one of two things. I can either go to File, Open Production, and this will give me a list of all the different productions that I currently have access to. If you need to manually select a production, click the Browse button, and this is very important. click the folder that has the name of the production. So in this situation, if I wanted to open up the newly created movie production, I would click the folder, select the folder, and then click choose. And that will open up the production for me, and then I can dive into the project as necessary. Now, an even easier way to remember this, I'll go ahead and close the production. If you know the name of the project that lives inside of that production, at any point, either from your operating system or from the welcome screen to Premiere, you can actually just click on the project and the production will open. Premiere always knows if a project is part of a production, and it will open the production for you and the project in one easy step. So those are the different ways of getting into a project inside of a production. This is how to create a production and get started. At this point, my production panel is looking pretty blank. So this is where I would start to use the new project and the new folder buttons to start to kind of build out the infrastructure of what I want my project to look like. We'll cover more of that in another video. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and check out this entire series on Premiere Productions. We're super excited to bring this to you.